I was sent a video. About fucking Illuminati and shit, and the guy asked me to comment on it. So I thought I'd give a little spiel about conspiracies. Well, I'll just say off the bat, there is no fucking Illuminati. Alright, the Illuminati do not run the country or the world or any stupid shit like that. There is no Illuminati. There is no fucking Knights Templar anymore. Yes, they existed a long time ago. They had a lot of money. They were very powerful during the Crusades and shit like that. They loaned a lot of money, but loaning a lot of money got them a lot of enemies, and they fucking, the Vatican and a bunch of other people fucking killed them all. They're gone. They're not running things. There is no shadow organization controlling the fucking world. We already know who controls the world. It's rich people. The Freemasons aren't fucking running the world. Yes, I know that a lot of the presidents were Freemasons, and I've been told that all of the presidents were Freemasons, and I don't really buy that, because I just can't see somebody like Abraham Lincoln being a fucking Freemason. But alright, let me explain it to you this way. Okay? Rich people run the fucking world. Alright? All the presidents, for the most part, have been rich people. They also, just a lot of them happen to be fucking Freemasons because they are rich. I mean, go to, I don't know, to one of the rich cities around here, Bloomfield Hills in Michigan is one of the richest fucking cities in the country, if not the richest. Fucking houses are ridiculous. Now, you could go there and you might, maybe all the men in that city belong to the local country club. Does that mean that the fucking country club is running the affairs of the city? No. The people that are in the country club happen to be the ones in charge, but that doesn't mean that the fucking country club is conspiring to rule over the city. A lot of rich people happen to be Freemasons. It's a very exclusive sort of fucking thing. God damn it, I gotta check something real quick. Alright. Fuck me. I need to get a new camera. Fuck Kodak and their 8 megapixel camera and the fucking shitty Kodak Easy Share software that comes with it. It only works fucking half the time. Fuck them. Anyway, yeah. Alright, so it's the rich people. It's not the organizations they happen to belong to. The Freemasons is a very exclusive organization, and a lot of the people happen to be rich. I have a personal vendetta against Freemasons, not vendetta, but I have a problem with Freemasons, not because they fucking run the world, but just because they're assholes. My father, before he died, was a carpenter in the union in Michigan, the Michigan Union of Carpenters and Millwrights, I believe it is. And he got on the bad side of a couple of Freemasons, and they had some connections in the union, and they fucked his shit all up. So yeah, they're assholes, but they're not fucking running the world. But the thing I wanted to talk about in this video is, because I know this is a movie that a lot of people have seen, Zeitgeist. And like the first part of the movie, if you've seen it, like talks about how Jesus is a fabrication, and how like all these different pagan myths that are almost identical to Jesus' story, and that part's all true. Jesus doesn't fucking exist. But then it goes on to talk about false flag policy, 9/11. Alright, I'm not going to talk about the 9/11 conspiracy because I know there will be a shitstorm of fucking stuff on my comments section and PMs. Let's just say I fall somewhere in the middle. I don't go with the 9/11 truth people, and I'm not really with the government people. Let's just say I'm somewhere in the middle. That's all I'm going to say about that. But they talk about all these, they try to set precedent for the false flag policy. And this is when the maker, I don't know who the fuck made Zeitgeist, this is when they just start fucking straight up lying. And I know most people aren't going to catch it because a lot of people are not really savvy about history, and there was things in there that just piss me off, being the history buff that I am. Particularly something about the Lusitania. Alright, if you don't know what the Lusitania was, it was a British cruise ship. It had some American civilians on it, and it got sunk by a U-boat. And in retrospect, the Germans had every right to sink that ship because it had a whole bunch of fucking guns and a bunch of other shit on it. But then also the German policy of unrestricted submarine warfare is technically illegal, but then again, what we were doing in that war was technically illegal before we joined because we were a neutral power, and during a war, if you're a neutral power and you're going to supply arms, you need to supply them more or less equally to both sides, and we were not. So we were both doing illegal shit. The Germans are not totally to be blamed for that. But Zeitgeist makes it sound like the sinking of the Lusitania was like the thing that got us fucking involved with World War I. And I know a lot of people think that because World War I is kind of overlooked. Not a lot of people know a lot of shit about it, which is a shame because it's very interesting. It's almost as interesting as the shit that went on during World War II. And the body count is pretty high too, so that's the only reason you're interested in fucking learning about wars. And if you're a sick prick like that, then fucking look it up. But alright, the Lusitania was sunk on the 7th of May 1915. Alright, now if you watch Zeitgeist, they make it sound like fucking the shit was just declared the next day. Alright, we declared war on Germany on the 6th of April 1917. Alright, there's nearly 2 years there. 2 years minus a month discrepancy there, alright? If you wanted to look for a single reason why we got involved in that war, then you can fucking look at something called the Zimmermann Telegraph, which was this weird little shadow deal that Germany was trying to make with Mexico involving an invasion of America. Fucking look it up. It's a really interesting story. The Zimmermann Telegraph. Just fucking Wikipedia that shit. But, so yeah, that pissed me off that fucking the Zeitgeist people just like made that shit up, and then they try to blame Roosevelt for orchestrating World War II, and World War II was almost the same situation as World War I. It was entangling alliances, and whether or not Japan actually had bombed Pearl Harbor, we would have gotten involved anyway, so there's no reason to believe that the government needed to orchestrate some sort of attack. It was going to happen eventually. The same thing with the Gulf of Tonkin incident. Even if it was fabricated, we were already fucking involved in Vietnam. The shit was gonna go down anyway. See, the thing with the Zeitgeist conspiracy theory thing about those three events is that they're trying to look for meaning that isn't there. Like, they're trying to make it sound like the shit just fucking happened like that. And as it usually is, history is far more complicated than it looks at face value. There's always more to the story. There's more to the story of our involvement in World War I than the Lusitania. There's more to our story in World War II than the bombing of Pearl Harbor. There's more to the story of our involvement in Vietnam than the Gulf of Tonkin incident. All of these things are far more complicated than your average conspiracy theory person will try to make it. And that's why conspiracy theories, even good ones that might be sort of true, get so popular because they simplify shit, and people are dumb and they like simple explanations. So yeah, I don't know. So that was my thoughts on conspiracy theories. So whatever, fuck you guys. Nah, you guys are alright. But seriously.